You've got endless choices of bread at the supermarket. White, whole grain, rye, low fat, high fiber, but you need to get your groceries quickly. And you want the healthiest choice for your family. Did you know that bread and packaged grain products are one of the highest sources of salt in your diet? So keep your heart and blood pressure healthy. Each slice should have no more than 100 calories. Finally, look on the nutrition label for the amount of fiber. Congratulations! You've quickly found a low-sodium, low-calorie, high-fiber bread in no time.
This is not bread. It's a shelf-stable, weaponized ration disguised as food. Walmart calls it baked fresh daily, but reality says otherwise. Frozen loaves, shipped in bulk, laced with chemicals to last 10 days longer than nature ever intended. A food scientist called it a loaf-shaped sponge engineered not to rot. Now, why should you care? Because that sponge sits in your kitchen, in your family's sandwiches, in your body. And if you think Walmart is the only one running this deception, you'd be wrong. What would you do after learning every bite is a tactical lie? Quick favor before we move on. If you appreciate this content, consider giving this video a like and subscribing to the channel. Believe it or not, more than 92% of viewers haven't subscribed yet. It's free and only takes a second, but it means the world to us. So did you subscribe already? Great, thank you so much for your support. Now back to the video. They tell you it is fresh. You walk by the display, you see the mist of steam, the crust looks warm, the bag carries that phrase, fresh baked today. Your senses confirm it. But the question is, what exactly are you holding in your hand once you get home? The chains rely on theater.
This is a fabulous fiber. And the prices are about $389, $389, $339. Red Isle is quite a bit. There we go, I'm still walking. Pretty cool, and these are the garlic breads. The cheapest bread I saw was $1.09, which is Gold Max bread. And the rest all are, I think, up to $3.99.
Walmart, Kroger, Safeway, each deploys the word fresh as if it were a shield wall. The open racks, the smell vents, even the brown paper packaging are designed as markers of authenticity. You follow the scent and assume the ovens behind the counter are working all morning. But then you learn the truth. Much of what sits there was made far away, frozen in holding chambers, shipped across state lines, and only finished in the store. What feels like craft is instead a supply chain trick, designed less for your taste and more for inventory control. Real bread is weak against time. Within 48 hours, it begins to stale, to harden, to lose its life. The chains see this not as a fact of nature, but as a weak point to be patched. Instead of adjusting the rhythm of baking, they armor the loaf with chemical agents. Calcium propionate keeps mold at bay, like a watchtower scanning for enemy movement. Monoglycerides act as binders, tightening the structure against collapse. Cultured wheat operates under the banner of natural, but its mission is the same. Extend survival by a week or more. What you get is no longer a loaf alive with yeast. It is a ration engineered to last, a soft capsule of time delay. In war, camouflage blinds you to the form of the target. The outline gets blurred, the surface painted to mimic earth or stone. That is exactly how this bread masquerade works. The crust looks rustic, the bag says artisan, but beneath you have a stabilized product indistinguishable from mass canteen supply. The illusion is the weapon. The shelf stability is the armor. You buy into it, unaware that memory and softness are false signals, no more authentic than paint sprayed on a shell. Several workers at regional stores admit a simple reality. They do not bake, they reheat. The bake-off process is as limited as flipping a switch on an industrial oven loaded with preformed dough. There is no hand shaping, no fermentation cycle lasting half a day, no baker pulling wet dough across a bench. It is logistics at work, not craft. Each loaf is part of a convoy, frozen at origin, thawed at target, reshaped in language so the chain can say fresh without breaking its rules. Even higher-end banners like Whole Foods and Trader Joe's rely on their own version of time armor. They advertise natural preservatives, citrus extract, cultured starch, dried vinegar. The vocabulary changes, but the operation is the same. Instead of calcium salts, they use plant-derived acids. Instead of propionate, they use cultures that carry similar effects. What looks like a rejection of chemicals is still an embrace of shelf life extension, only painted with words that comfort a health-conscious crowd. You think clean label, yet the battle plan is identical. Delay staleness, preserve softness, no matter the loss in taste or texture. Meanwhile, at the bottom tier of pricing, the supply chain ties into a very different arena. Dollar General sources bread through channels that overlap with institutional food suppliers, the kind that deliver to prisons, school cafeterias, and bulk service lines. These are not networks designed for flavor. They are designed for control, predictability, and cost per unit. The loaf you bring home is a civilian copy of something made to feed en masse, controlled in bulk, stripped of nuance. What you chew has more in common with the ration line than a bakery counter. This is the story of words weaponized. Stores deploy freshness as if it were a flare in combat, confusing your judgment, drawing your attention away from the actual target. On the surface, it works. You believe the phrase, you relax, you buy. But once you strip away the smoke and scent, you see the tactic exposed. It is camouflage, nothing more, nothing less. Underneath the disguise lies industrial bread, stabilized in uniform, without the unpredictability of life yeast or the fragility of short shelf span. And now you are left holding it, a loaf that promises warmth but offers only softness engineered against time. Bread that carries a label of home, yet eats like a ration in the field. When the trick is finally seen, the question shifts. What do you end up feeding yourself? Cheap softness, hollow nutrition, a ration pack disguised as dinner. Bread was never meant to be complex. 4 parts only: flour, water, yeast, salt. Anything beyond that is armor plating added for the logistics war. What fills the shelves in these chains is closer to a ration pack than a loaf. Sturdy, uniform, but hollow inside. Your role is simple. Read the labels. Question the words. Demand bread that lives and dies by time, not science built to stall nature. Every choice you make is part of this operation. Subscribe and join a community that breaks down tactical deception in food, in battles, and in the stories fed to you daily.